Background: on November 1, 2017, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, was announced as the site for the eighth College Football Playoff CFP National Championship. Indianapolis was the eighth different city and the first cold-weather city to host the College Football Playoff National Championship after Arlington, Glendale, Tampa, Atlanta, Santa Clara, New Orleans, and Miami Gardens. Additionally, this was the first time in college football's modern history that the national championship was not won in the South or the West. The city was selected after it was invited by the College Football Playoff to bid for the event, who specifically requested that Indianapolis bid for the 2022 event. The host committee was chaired by Mark Howell, the CEO of the Indianapolis-based company Angie's List, now Angie. While this was the first college football national championship hosted by Lucas Oil Stadium, the venue has been the home stadium for the Indianapolis Colts since 2008 and has hosted the Big Ten football championship game since its inception in 2011, Super Bowl XLVI in 2012, and Final Fours in 2010, 2015, and Earth Stadium was cashless for the game, as it has been since 2020, and face masks were highly recommended but were not required. The championship game was the eighth in college football playoff history. The semifinal games were both played on December 31, 2021. In the first semifinal, played at the 2021 Cotton Bowl Classic in Arlington, Texas, Alabama defeated Cincinnati. In the second semifinal, played at the 2021 Orange Bowl in Miami Gardens, Florida, Georgia defeated Michigan. These wins by Alabama and Georgia qualified them to the national championship game. This was the second appearance by Georgia in the college football playoff, after a debut appearance in 2017 which saw them defeat Oklahoma in the 2017 Rose Bowl in double overtime and fall to Alabama in overtime in the championship game. They entered the title game with an overall CFP record of. Alabama made their seventh appearance in the playoff in 2021, with 2019 being the only year they failed to qualify. In their previous appearances, they won 3 national championships and had lost in a further 2 championship games to Clemson in both 2017 and 2019. They entered the contest with an overall record of in the college football playoff of this bracket. Look at it. Statistics. Aftermath. Georgia's win marked their first national championship since 1980, a gap of 41 years. They finished the season with a record of, while Alabama finished with a record. This was the first time a Georgia team had recorded 14 wins in a single season. Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett, the first walk-on quarterback to defeat a team coached by Nick Saban since 1997, was named the Offensive Player of the Game, while Georgia safety Lewis Sine was named Defensive Player of the Game. The win was the first for Georgia head coach Kirby Smart over Alabama head coach Nick Saban, for whom he worked as an assistant previously. The win was the first for Georgia against Alabama overall since the 2007 season. Saban's first at Alabama. Georgia also became the first No. 3 seed to win the college football playoff national championship. During the post-game handshake, Saban told Smart, "You guys kicked our ass in the fourth quarter," referring to Georgia's 3 unanswered touchdowns to conclude the game, which propelled them from a 5-point deficit to a 15-point lead. In return, Smart asked about the condition of Alabama wide receiver Jameson Williams, who left the game with an injury in the second quarter. Saban responded that Williams had likely torn his ACL. This was the final game for Georgia defensive coordinator Dan Lanning before his departure for the head coaching position at Oregon. He was hired on December 11, 2021, but committed to coaching Georgia through the conclusion of their season. Coincidentally, his first game at Oregon was the 2022 season opener, which was against Georgia. A total of 68,311 people attended the game, making it one of 7 sellouts of the bowl game season. Both of the playoff semifinals were among the list of 7, as were the Gasparilla Bowl, Music City Bowl, Birmingham Bowl, and Rose Bowl. Georgia would go on an undefeated 2022 season and beat TCU in the next season's national championship, winning 65-7 in the largest margin of victory in any bowl game in the FBS. Further reading. Rittenberg, Adam. December 31, 2021 College Football Playoff Championship First Look, Alabama, Georgia set for rematch, Isentum, archived from the original on January 30, 2022, retrieved January 2, 2022,